One night, our foundress Jeanne Jugan looked out her apartment window and saw a blind, disabled woman alone in the cold. It was the winter of 1839, and the French city of Saint-Servan was experiencing difficult economic times.
On that fateful, frigid night, Jeanne Jugan welcomed the needy old woman into her apartment.
That night, and every night after, Jeanne Jugan let the elderly woman sleep in her bed, while she herself slept on the attic floor. Jeanne gave up her bed so the poor woman would have a safe place to sleep, and to give her a sense of worth and significance.
Nearly 2 centuries later, the sisters continue to selflessly care for the elderly poor. Joined by the staff at the Sacred Heart Home, they continue St. Jeanne Jugan's legacy of hospitality and caring.
Jeanne Jugan welcomed the needy old woman into her apartment, just as she would have received Jesus into her home. She would later testify, "Take good care of the aged, for in them you are caring for Christ himself."
Following St. Jeanne Jugan's example, our home in Oregon, Ohio provides a safe, comfortable, and welcoming place for all our residents to live.
Many people can't believe that our residents have their own rooms and private baths.
They tell us we'd be more profitable if we decreased our staff-to-resident ratio and doubled up on rooms. But for almost 200 years, the Little Sisters have deliberately placed human dignity, quality of life, and quality of spirit over profits.
We care for the elderly as if they were our own parents. And with the help of some very generous donors, we built our current home in 2003. The beauty and the comfort of our home came from generous benefactors who believed in our mission and who wanted a space for our residents worthy of the love and care the sisters provide.
We designed Sacred Heart with the hospitality of St. Jeanne Jugan in mind. For example, we know that as residents age, their medical needs become increasingly complex. When it comes to their health, people want privacy, so we included individual rooms with private baths.
Our residents live here. This is their home, so we wanted to avoid a hospital feel.
Our long-term care is homier at Sacred Heart.
Despite her very limited means, Jeanne Jugan soon took in 2 more women. Within 2 years, she had rented a larger room and was housing 12 poor women.
Then Jeanne acquired a spacious, unused convent building and was able to admit 40 men and women at once. Every time she found more room, more people found her. Soon women who wanted to help with her mission began finding Jeanne as well.
Today, our home has the capacity to house 83 residents. Due to the quality of our care, we are always fully occupied with a steady waiting list.
Without money to support their charges, Jeanne and her helpers began begging, whether on the streets or by going door to door.
They collected money and food and in-kind donations. Every gift they collected went straight to their mission. Jeanne was a charming beggar. When one man complained that she had been to his door just the day before, she simply replied that her charges were hungry yesterday and hungry again today, and that they'd be hungry again the next day. He couldn't help but make another donation.
There were no endowment funds or saving accounts from which to draw money. Jeanne and her helpers raised whatever they could, and then they trusted God to provide the rest.
To this day, we put every dollar we raise to work right away. There is always someone who needs assistance, and accumulating a rainy day fund would mean withholding immediate help.
Like our founder, we faithfully rely on God's providence for meeting tomorrow's financial needs.
Today we will still carry on the begging tradition. Every week our sisters visit businesses and markets seeking food, supplies, and of course, money donations. On Sundays, 2 sisters go to local parishes and appeal directly to the congregations.
Of course, you needn't wait to be asked to make a donation. In fact, please consider yourself asked.
The Apostle Paul said, "Let each of you look not only to your own interests, but to the interest of others." Jeanne Jugan lived her life focused on Christ and on the interest of others.
With St. John Jugan's guidance, we're committed to honoring the residents of Sacred Heart Home and to bringing blessings into their lives. We want Sacred Heart to be the most wonderful place our residents live. On earth, that is.
Until God calls them to their eternal home.
Won't you please help the Little Sisters continue their mission of caring for the elderly by donating today?